Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Nick Aldis attacked by top SmackDown superstar in a stunning end to 2024. Nick Aldis doesn't get particularly physical even though he's in tip-top shape. There are many who are still hoping to see him debut in WWE as an in-ring talent. On SmackDown this week, he was lightly attacked by a top star in what was the final segment of WWE TV on the Blue brand in 2024. The year wrapped up with a bang, and despite SmackDown being pre-taped, there was a highly anticipated segment featuring Nick Aldis and Kevin Owens. The premise was that Aldis was going to force Kevin Owens to hand over the prestigious Winged Eagle WWE Championship that he took at Saturday night's main event. Of course, that didn't happen, and Cody Rhodes came out to set up a rematch as well. In the closing moment, Kevin Owens shoved Nick Aldis into Cody Rhodes, launching an attack. The SmackDown general manager hardly ever gets into a physical scuffle, and Kevin Owens laying his hands on Aldis, albeit briefly, was a sight to behold for those watching. Aldis shielded Rhodes from further neck damage that was caused by the banned piledrive. It isn't often that we get to see Aldis getting into such a situation, but in doing so, he has established himself as arguably the best SmackDown general manager since WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. As for Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, they will be running it back at the 2025 Royal Rumble on February 1 in a ladder match. The final SmackDown of 2024 was expected to be a celebratory event, with the Blue brand riding high on a year filled with monumental matches, unforgettable storylines, and rising stars. Fans anticipated a festive end to the year. Instead, they were left in shock as Nick Aldis, the esteemed SmackDown general manager, became the target of a brutal attack by a top superstar in one of the most shocking moments in recent WWE history. The December 27th episode of SmackDown began with the kind of energy one would expect for a year-end show. The arena was adorned with celebratory decorations, and superstars engaged in light-hearted promos reminiscing about their achievements in 2024. Nick Aldis, who had been instrumental in SmackDown's creative renaissance since taking over as GM earlier in the year, kicked off the show with a heartfelt address. Aldis spoke about the milestones SmackDown had achieved under his leadership, including record-breaking viewership and critically acclaimed matches. He thanked the WWE Universe and promised that 2025 would be even bigger and better. His sincerity and poise earned him a standing ovation from the crowd. However, the warm atmosphere didn't last long. Throughout the night, cryptic messages aired on the big screen, teasing that someone intended to disrupt the festivities. The messages, which included phrases like "chaos is the end of peace" and "the year ends in fire," hinted at an impending reckoning. The main event of the night featured Roman Reigns defending his undisputed WWE Universal Championship against LA Knight in a thrilling rematch that had fans on the edge of their seats. Reigns retained his title in controversial fashion, thanks to interference from Solo Sikoa. As boos echoed throughout the arena, it seemed the night would end with Reigns standing tall, once again cementing his dominance. But as Reigns celebrated, Nick Aldis appeared on the stage, microphone in hand. Aldis, fed up with Reigns' repeated use of underhanded tactics, announced that the first SmackDown of 2025 would feature Reigns defending his championship in a fair match, one where interference would be strictly prohibited. The crowd erupted in cheers, while Reigns and Sikoa glared at Aldis from the ring. Before Aldis could leave, the lights in the arena dimmed. A chilling hush fell over the crowd as a familiar theme song hit. Kevin Owens, the former Universal Champion, who had been embroiled in a bitter rivalry with Aldis over the past months, stormed down to the ring with a steel chair in hand. Owens bypassed Reigns and Sikoa, heading straight for Aldis, who stood frozen at the top of the ramp. Without hesitation, Owens delivered a thunderous chair shot to Aldis, dropping the GM to the ground. The crowd, stunned into silence, watched as Owens unleashed a flurry of strikes, leaving Aldis writhing in pain. Officials and security personnel rushed to the stage, attempting to pull Owens away, but the damage was already done. As medics attended to Aldis, Owens grabbed a microphone and delivered a scathing tirade. "You all cheer for this so-called leader, this so-called GM, but he's nothing more than a fraud. Aldis, you've been holding me back all year. Every time I tried to climb back to the top, you've thrown roadblocks in my way. I'm done playing by your rules. SmackDown doesn't need a puppet master. It needs a wrecking ball. And in 2025, I'm going to tear this place apart." The crowd, initially unsure how to react, erupted into a mix of boos and cheers. Owens had cemented his status as SmackDown's most unpredictable force, but at the cost of the GM who had been pivotal to the brand's success. Nick Aldis was stretchered out of the arena, and WWE issued a statement shortly after the show went off the air. Nick Aldis sustained multiple injuries following an unprovoked attack by Kevin Owens on SmackDown. He is currently under medical evaluation. WWE does not condone such behavior and will take appropriate disciplinary action against Kevin Owens. Further updates will be provided as they become available. The attack marked a shocking end to what had been a stellar year for SmackDown. Fans took to social media to express their disbelief and outrage, with hashtags like #JusticeForAldis and #UnleashedOwens trending worldwide. For months, Kevin Owens had been simmering with frustration. His path to championship glory had been repeatedly blocked, and he often blamed Aldis for his misfortunes. Aldis, in turn, had called Owens a liability, citing his penchant for chaos and inability to follow rules. Their professional tension spilled over into multiple segments, with Owens accusing Aldis of favoritism and Aldis countering that Owens needed to control his temper. While their animosity had been a focal point of SmackDown's storytelling, no one expected it to culminate in such a brutal display. Owens' actions blurred the line between fiction and reality, leaving fans questioning whether the attack was scripted or a genuine outburst. With all this potentially sidelined, SmackDown faces a leadership crisis heading into 2025. Will a temporary GM be appointed to fill the void, or will the blue brand descend into chaos without Aldis' steady hand? Superstars like Roman Reigns, LA Knight, and even Kevin Owens could seize the opportunity to reshape SmackDown in their image. The attack also sets the stage for a possible in-ring return for Nick Aldis. While Aldis had primarily focused on his managerial duties in WWE, his storied career as an in-ring competitor suggests he could lace up his boots once again to seek revenge against Owens. A grudge match between the two would undoubtedly headline any major WWE event. Kevin Owens' attack on Aldis can be seen as both a personal vendetta and a statement of intent. By targeting the GM, Owens positioned himself as SmackDown's ultimate disruptor, a role he has thrived in throughout his career. His actions send a clear message to the locker room. No one, not even authority figures, is safe from his wrath. However, Owens' defiance could come at a cost. WWE's disciplinary action, coupled with the disdain of his peers, may isolate Owens further. Yet, for a man who has built his career on defying expectations and breaking boundaries, isolation might be exactly what he wants. The attack on Nick Aldis by Kevin Owens was a shocking and brutal way to close out 2024. It not only disrupted the celebratory tone of the night, but also set the stage for one of the most unpredictable years in WWE history. As fans eagerly await the fallout, one thing is clear. SmackDown is entering 2025 in a state of chaos, and Kevin Owens is the storm at its center. Whether Aldis can recover and retaliate, or if Owens will continue to dominate unopposed, remains to be seen. But in the world of WWE, where unpredictability reigns supreme, the only certainty is that the road ahead will be unforgettable. Would you like any additional details or angles explored in this narrative?